Well, good morning. What a pleasant surprise to see so many people out for our State of the City address. This is truly a wonderful morning and a great opportunity to hear some wonderful things about your city. My name is Dennis Paul. I'm with Elevations Credit Union, and it's our pleasure to bring you the 2011 Elevations Credit Union State of the City address. I was at a function recently and somebody asked us, they said, are you going to do the State of the Republic address again this year? And I said, well, we are certainly going to do the State of the City address. We don't think that Boulder's completely receded from the Union yet. So Elevations Credit Union has a lot of sponsorships, a lot of partners in the communities that we serve. We've been serving Boulder since 1953. I see a lot of our partners in the audience this morning. We partner with the University of Colorado, as well as many nonprofits. And one of our partnerships that we're particularly proud of is that with the Chamber of Commerce, the Boulder Economic Council, as well as the Chamber. We want to take an opportunity to thank Susan Graff and her team for giving us this opportunity to be the presenting sponsor of the State of the City address. As I introduce our esteemed leaders here in Boulder, it is quite a job, a thankless job for them. Everybody's got an opinion, and in Boulder, we have 7. So it makes their jobs quite tricky. But without further ado, let's get this going. I'm proud to be able to present Mayor Susan Osborne, that will be to my left, and our city manager, Jane Bradigam. They'll be here at this podium. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dennis. And good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to report on the state of the City of Boulder. Before I begin, I'd like to recognize my fellow council members who are here. I see Casey Becker and Ken Wilson, George Karakian, and Lisa Morzell. Thank you all for being here. As we begin to discuss the state of the city, it's appropriate to reflect on some of the significant events and accomplishments from 2010. One that is probably fresh in our collective memory is the number of wildfires that the city responded to last year. In an 8-week period, city and county teams responded to 2 significant wildfires that gained national attention. The 4 Mile Canyon fire destroyed 169 homes, burned over 6,000 acres, and became Colorado's most expensive fire, with $217 million in insurance claims. And then a few weeks later, the Dome fire forced the evacuation of 800 city residents.
Firefighters from around the nation set up operations at the new Regional Fire Training Center. More than 1,100 firefighters responded, including 70 city firefighters. A significant amount of city resources were used to protect Boulder County and city residents. During the 4 Mile Canyon fire, city staff supported the around-the-clock emergency operations and services to the community. While 169 homes were destroyed, not a single life was lost in any of last year's fires.
Our success in keeping these fires out of the city lays both in the federal air support and in the tremendous investment the city, county, and local communities have made in training emergency responders. One of those investments has already paid significant dividends. The Regional Fire Training Center was more than 14 years in the planning, with a construction cost of $8 million. From inception, it was designed to prepare regional emergency responders for any situation they might encounter. When it opened on July 1st, 2010, the vision was for the 10-acre facility to serve all 26 fire departments in Boulder County. On Labor Day weekend, the LEED certified facility became a village for firefighters, a command post to fight the 4 Mile Canyon fire, and the center of information for residents. It has already proven itself an invaluable resource in the time of crisis, and it will continue to be an essential component of protecting our community.
The strong sense of community that rang true during crisis makes Boulder a special place to live. This is a place people want to be. Organizations from around the nation routinely cite Boulder as an excellent city to live, work, and play. TripAdvisor.com named Boulder as one of the top 25 destinations in the United States. RelocateAmerica.com ranked Boulder number 9 in its top 100 places to live, and we rank number 1 in its top 10 cities for recreation. Kiplinger's Personal Finance magazine ranked Boulder number 4 in its list of 10 best cities for the decade. American Style magazine ranked Boulder as one of America's top 25 arts destinations.
Boulder received national attention for more than quality of life issues. Parents and colleges named Boulder second on its top 10 best college towns list. Portfolio.com named Boulder America's brainiest city. Kiplinger called Boulder an intellectual hotspot and named it the nation's 4th best city for job seekers.
I'm proud that city staff helped contribute to that reputation by winning national awards for service and innovation. Rocky Mountain Water Environment Association awarded the Sustainability Award to the city's 75th Street wastewater treatment facility. We received the Grand Award for Engineering Excellence from the Colorado Association of Stormwater and Floodplain Managers for the Elmer's 2 Mile Creek Greenways project. City of Boulder was the recipient of 5 awards in this year's Colorado American Public Works Association Chapter Awards. The city earned top awards for Smart Regs, the Broadway Reconstruction Project, Sustainable Energy Performance Contracts, the Regional Fire Training Center, and Batasso Area Pipeline Replacement Project. And the city launched Inside Boulder Show in 2010, which won a National Savvy Award to provide weekly news about your government.
The combination of Boulder's government and private sector innovations and willingness to partner together for a stronger community not only puts us on national top 10 lists, but also allows us to launch amazing collaborative projects, such as our solicitation of Google's ultra-high-speed internet project. As you may recall, Google announced a campaign to find the perfect city to test its ultra-high-speed internet. Cities around the country pulled off crazy stunts to garner Google's attention. Boulder took a different approach. We focused on real strengths that showcased what Boulder would do with the technology. Local tech firms and the academic community partnered with the city to showcase all that Boulder has to offer. While we haven't learned the outcome of the Google Fiber project yet, the publicity and collaboration highlighted Boulder's economic position as a tech leader and an innovative community. Our international reputation as an innovator continues to make Boulder a destination city and enhance our economic sustainability.
While many communities struggled with the recession, 6 primary employers made key decisions to stay or expand their facilities in Boulder. Mountainside Medical, a company with over 70 employees, expanded its workforce in Gun Barrel. Rally Software, a company with 200 employees, remained in Boulder and moved its headquarters to Walnut Street. Spectralogic, a global leader in innovative tape libraries and disk backup solutions, moved into an 83,000 square foot building on Lookout Road. Covidian, Boulder's 2nd largest private employer, announced it will expand its Gun Barrel campus. Microsoft's Bing Imaging is moving more than 100 people from East Boulder to almost 33,000 square feet of downtown office space. And Google is growing its Boulder workforce and will occupy 3 buildings near 26th and Pearl, including a remodel in part of the former Circuit City space.
In addition to partnering with business organizations to attract and retain valued employers, Boulder made it easier to do business by launching a new city website business portal that centralizes the city's business services into one easy-to-navigate source. Boulder Public Library also offered weekly business startup classes, monthly small business consultations, and partnered with local job counselors to host Rev Up Your Resume workshops to help residents transition from unemployment to new jobs. For those individuals who need additional training, we collaborated with Boulder Small Business Development Center and the Latino Chamber of Boulder County to provide business-focused classes and training.
The city's willingness to work with businesses and balance the interests of our residents is maintaining our economic stability. During the recession, Boulder has been able to maintain a flat city budget and a consistent employment base. Boulder unemployment rates remain significantly better than the national average of 9.4%. The Boulder area has 6.5% unemployment, which is also much better than the state average of 8.8%. And these are from the December report, the most recent one. City incentive programs, in collaboration with partners, are working to help local companies stay and grow here and to create more jobs in Boulder. As I said last year, the most important jobs in Boulder are the ones we already have, which is why the 2011 budget continues the investment of tax dollars in our flexible rebate program and partnerships with the Chamber, Boulder Economic Council, and the Boulder Innovation Center.
Yet, these remain difficult times for the global economy, and of course, we're in that web. National unemployment has increased since 2009. It's difficult to get small business loans, consumer confidence remains low, and both individuals and companies are hesitant to spend. These difficulties translate directly into lower revenues and higher demand for government services. In 2009, we cut $5 million from the city budget and eliminated 26 positions. Last November, during budget deliberations for this year, we eliminated nearly 20 more positions to pass a flat budget for 2011. Our 2010 sales and use tax revenues were projected to be down for the year by 2.75%. Through November 2010, retail sales tax revenue was actually up 6.8%, or about $3.8 million, and that was as of November. And our total sales and use tax is up 3.8% for the same period. However, these numbers reflect one-time use tax revenues collected in December 2009, which we do not expect to occur for 2010. As a result, the Finance Department projects that final collections will be flat or may slightly exceed 2009. Of particular concern is the business use tax. There is still no indication that this sector is investing in new capital or significant expansion. It is expected that business use tax will fall short of projections by as much as 20%, or approximately $2 million. We'll know for certain in mid-February when the final numbers are available, but clearly this requires us to be cautious in allocating resources.
Boulder has been working to reduce the cost of government since the growing gap between projected revenues and expenditures was identified several years ago. Throughout 2010, Boulder made tough decisions to centralize staff for greater efficiencies. Information technology has been restructured. Finance, communications, and licensing have been centralized to leverage staff resources. The city also has transitioned its employee compensation program to reflect the employment market. Automatic cost of living increases have been eliminated for management non-union employees. Union contracts have been negotiated to mirror both the public and private sector job markets, and the city strengthened its pay-for-performance philosophy based on employee contributions. Now more than ever, we must be prudent in how we manage resources. There are difficult decisions to make in order to improve our future. Boulder faced that predicament when it came time to renew the 20-year Xcel Energy franchise. $4.1 million was on the table if we chose not to renew the franchise agreement. The community and city council wanted a shorter-term franchise agreement that provided for cleaner energy and stable rates. Unfortunately, we weren't able to negotiate the agreement we had hoped for. In a very difficult and courageous decision, council chose not to renew the franchise agreement. We heard the community's desire to lead by example and to more fully explore Boulder's energy options before entering into another long-term franchise.
Instead, we asked voters to approve a replacement tax on Xcel for 5 years to provide the time needed to analyze, discuss, and make decisions as a community about our energy future. This may ultimately mean a renewed partnership with Xcel to meet our community goals, municipalization to provide our community with more direct control over its energy decisions and investments, or possibly a different option that we have yet to develop. This was a bold request to ask voters to approve a $4.1 million tax during a recession, even if it was replacing an existing fee. It was a tremendous vote of confidence from this community, and we are grateful for the overwhelming support that was shown for the utility occupation tax. Without your support, the city would have eliminated 50 additional positions this year and significantly reduced city services and programs. Passage of the tax, along with our continued efficiency improvement, has enabled a flat budget for 2011 that includes a significant investment in our energy future work. On December 21st, we started to develop the framework for our energy discussion in 2011. Listening to the input we received from a wide range of community stakeholders in the fall of 2010, we began drafting goals and objectives for our energy future. These goals speak to our desire to change our energy system from one of distant generation that relies on fossil fuels to one in which we maximize opportunity for local and regional generation using renewable energy sources. They also speak to our desire to have a more comprehensive approach to energy management, including opportunities for energy customers to become energy investors and more effective energy managers. We are excited about engaging the entire community in these important conversations in the coming months and years.
While the city has been investing in renewable energy and conservation technology for years to generate real savings for the community, we are charting new territory at the forefront of the energy world. In city facilities, energy retrofits will save over $500,000 annually, and the cost to install the systems is funded through our own energy savings. These capital improvements are wise economic decisions because they have no increased cost to taxpayers and will yield real savings over their lifetimes. Another innovative project is the solar photovoltaic facility at the wastewater treatment plant. The 1 megawatt facility, which covers about 5 acres, went online in July and is estimated to supply up to 20% of the plant's annual energy needs. Our power purchase agreement is estimated to save the city approximately $43,000 per year from the power generated by the photovoltaic facility.
Generating renewable energy is a familiar path for Boulder. In 2010, the community celebrated the 100th anniversary of operations at the Boulder Canyon Hydroelectric Plant. The hydroelectric power plant was one of the first high-pressure hydro plants in the country and was Boulder's first source of electricity. Now, Boulder Canyon Hydroelectric Plant is one of 8 hydroelectric facilities located on our municipal water supply system. Together, these plants generate about 46 million kilowatt hours of electricity and $2 million in revenues annually. With all of the city's hydro facilities combined, the city has prevented more than 264,000 tons of coal from being burned since 1985 and annually produces electricity enough to supply 7,500 homes in Boulder. Reducing our carbon footprint reflects community values, and these infrastructure investments are good business decisions. Whether we are generating energy, reducing energy consumption, or investing in preventative maintenance, the results are all reflected in the bottom line.
This long-term approach to improving and sustaining the quality of city assets prompted us to significantly revise the city's capital improvement program in 2010. Rather than focusing only on new projects, we are investing first in assets we already have. In addition, the city is developing an infrastructure improvement fund. Over the next 5 years, the capital improvement program will include 138 projects totaling $139.5 million. 81 of those projects are proposed for 2011, totaling $24 million.
Reinvesting in city assets and infrastructure is good business and enhances our business climate. I'm proud to say that Boulder has committed significant city funds and leveraged federal dollars to improve our roads and bike paths, as well as our public buildings and water supply. $3.8 million was invested in the Boulder Reservoir Water Treatment Plant to increase the capacity at the plant to account for future growth and add redundancy to the city's water treatment system. In order to take advantage of that increased capacity, we also invested $1.2 million at the Iris and Cherryvale pump station to add an additional pump station building. The Patasso Area Pipeline Replacement Project was completed in June 2010 and resulted in increased hydroelectric generation revenue, which over the life of the project will offset the initial $3.6 million project capital cost.
2010 was also a year of significant investment in our transportation systems. Over an 18-month period, Broadway from Pine to Iris was reconstructed in concrete with significant water and gas line utility renewals and fiber optic line installations. The project also included an urban design and transit stop improvements, including the Broadway in Motion public art installations at each of the 20 transit stops in this section of Broadway. The Broadway Pine to Iris project cost totaled $9.8 million, with 2/3 of the funding from a Federal Highway Administration grant and contributions by the Colorado Department of Transportation. Federal funding has been a key infrastructure investment tool. In 2010, Boulder County and the city leveraged federal dollars to improve 63rd Street and the Diagonal Highway. This project created a balanced, multimodal facility that improves automobile, bus, bicycle, and pedestrian facilities through the intersection. Federal dollars were also leveraged to improve the 28th Street and Valmont Road intersection and pedestrian crossing north of Valmont Road to complete another phase of improvements in the 28th Street corridor project, which extends from Baseline Road to Iris Avenue.
But in Boulder, there's more to transportation than roads. We're a multimodal community committed to public transportation as well as bike and walking options. This mode shift is a direct result of the city's commitment to expand the multimodal system. Today, the city is served by 150 miles of bike paths and 52 miles of off-street multi-use pathway and 73 amazing multi-use pathway underpasses. The result is that it takes the same amount of time to cross the city today as it did in the 1980s.
In 2010, we worked hard to improve access to alternative modes of transportation. Federal dollars paid for pedestrian access ramp improvements to meet current Americans with Disabilities Act design guidelines in eastern neighborhoods of Boulder. The Thunderbird Drive bicycle pedestrian path was upgraded to an 8-foot wide concrete path from Pawnee Drive to Thunderbird Circle to improve and widen the usable pavement condition. Over the past summer, Boulder rehabilitated bridge decks on the Boulder Creek Path at 13th Street and on Bear Creek Path at the Wellman Canal. The existing pedestrian crossing on Baseline Road between Broadway and US 36 was replaced with a pedestrian-activated signal to enhance safety for pedestrians and bicyclists.
Boulder's commitment to alternative transportation really speaks to our community's three legs of sustainability: economic, social, and environmental. A sustainable economy requires us to continue investing in traditional and alternative transportation, as well as incentives that make Boulder an attractive place to do business. And if we want to continue attracting quality businesses and providing the most qualified workforce, we also need to invest in socially sustainable quality of life initiatives. This is an area in which our Boulder truly excels. We're known around the world as the city that caters to recreation and the environment. Boulder residents and visitors enjoy the city's 45,000 acres of open space and mountain parks lands. According to a survey conducted in the spring of 2010, over half of Boulder's residents visit open space at least twice a week. That is an amazing number. Tens of thousands of people from around the world come to hike, run, and watch nature on Boulder's nearly 150 miles of trails. And of course, our residents also take advantage of the city's parks and recreation centers to enjoy boating, team sports, and professional instructors who teach everything from pottery and yoga to kickboxing and Pilates.
Our Parks and Recreation Department offers access to 3 complete indoor fitness and recreation centers, 3 outdoor sports field complexes, 2 outdoor pools, 86 developed parks, including the new Dakota Ridge Neighborhood Park and Valmont City Park, where construction is nearly completed for a world-class bike park scheduled to open this spring. The department also manages the Boulder Reservoir, which not only provides a source for municipal drinking water, but also offers great recreation opportunities. Boulder offers some of the best recreation programs in the state through our Parks and Recreation Department, including one of the largest municipal tennis programs in the Denver metro area, with 1,281 tennis participants in lessons and camps. Boulder's 2010 tennis program had 10 state finalists and 5 state champions. Gymnastics had over 3,400 participants in the program and 210 team participants. Our gymnasts range from preschoolers to state and national champions, including Lisa Goodhue, who started with us as a preschooler. Lisa is now the second most accomplished gymnast in the Flyers' 37-year history, second only to Olympian, 1976 Olympian Debbie Wilcox. Parks and Recreation has naturally recognized programs for athletes of different abilities. The Expand program was awarded a $30,000 grant from the United States Olympic Committee for the 3rd year to continue to serve injured servicemen and women through adapted sport opportunities. The United States Army presented the Expand program with a Certificate of Appreciation for Patriotic Civilian Service at the 2010 National Recreation and Parks Association Congress.
Boulder is home to world-class athletes, but also to a highly literate community that values education and the arts. We're fortunate to have an organization like the Boulder Public Library that serves the city as a community center, a library, art gallery, and performing arts center. The core service at our library facilities is an effective model of offering reading materials and programs to the community. However, our library is so much more than that. It is a community hub that opens new opportunities to our residents through job training, public art shows, and community events, including this morning's State of the City address. It really is a gathering place that reflects the spirit of the community and one that rises in importance during challenging times. In addition to the job assistance programs I mentioned earlier, we served many individuals learning to read or completing a GED so they could become more qualified for employment or to pursue higher education opportunities. This year, Boulder Reads celebrates its 25th anniversary of literacy service to the public, having started with 8 tutor student pairs in 1986 and is now serving 300 people per year, including GED instruction, jail literacy, and reading buddies for children. Attendance by teens and children during the library's summer reading programs showed huge increases in 2010 from 2009, increasing 75% for children and an amazing 173% for teens. We also saw success with new adult readers. 49% of the adult literacy students served in 2010 achieved one of these top 3 goals: improving their employment, enrolling in education, passing the GED or citizenship test. 27% of those new readers also achieved a second one of these top 3 goals.
Ensuring that all of our residents have an opportunity to learn to read and to grow as contributing members of the community is a key element of Boulder's inclusiveness and diversity goals. Many of our immigrants have taken advantage of these programs to improve their English, apply for citizenship, and to fully integrate into Boulder. Our commitment as a community has been to expand these opportunities through partnerships and innovations. In 2010, Boulder partnered with the National League of Cities to increase awareness of citizenship opportunities. We continued our inclusiveness and diversity committees, and the Human Relations Commission took tough positions on immigration reform to protect the rights of all immigrants and diverse citizens. Boulder takes immigration reform seriously, and in 2010, the city was named one of the 20 best practice cities for municipal innovations in immigrant integration for our Immigrant Advisory Committee. Formed in 2006, The committee advises the city on policies and services that affect immigrants and provides an avenue for civic engagement.
As a community that prides itself on serving all aspects of our population, the success of our social sustainability initiatives depend on helping each other and leveraging resources with partners for long-term solutions. The city's Human Services Fund distributes over $2.5 million annually to community nonprofits for operating support, including funding for safety net services such as the Shelter for the Homeless, the Mental Health Center, Clinica Campesina, Attention Homes, Safe House, the Center for People with Disabilities, and Community Food Share. The city also supports programs such as the Teen Parenting Program, Boulder Day Nursery, the Family Learning Center, and El Centro Amistad. Boulder continues to take a regional approach to improving the lives of our underprivileged residents, recognizing that a broader approach is needed to solve issues like homelessness. We partnered with Boulder County, the cities of Longmont and Lafayette, and community nonprofits to create a plan for addressing the needs of homeless individuals and families and those at risk of becoming homeless. The county-wide 10-year plan to end homelessness identifies goals and strategies to address the range of needs, from emergency services to permanent supportive housing with services to help individuals remain in stable housing and move toward greater self-sufficiency.
While we work toward long-term solutions, Boulder remains committed to securing affordable housing for a diverse population. In 2010, Boulder allocated $3.7 million for housing and critical infrastructure, including an additional 38 affordable homeowner and 46 affordable rental units, funding for 32 additional transitional housing units, an Emergency Family Assistance Association remodel of Echo House Emergency Shelter Services, Habitat for Humanity homes at Northfield, new plumbing at Carriage House, assistance to Special Transit for acquisition of their new site, and a new elevator at Golden West Senior Living Center.
Boulder has also taken the housing issue to the state legislature and pushed hard for new legal protections for lower-income residents. I'm proud to report that we were successful in 2010 in strengthening protections for mobile home owners. The enactment of Senate Bill 10-156 provides new statutory obligations for increased eviction notices, rights to assemble in common areas, park owner obligations to provide water and sewer, municipal access to utilities, and recovery of attorney's fees for mobile home residents.
We are taking an integrated approach to a socially sustainable community. In addition to literacy and housing challenges, Boulder is committed to providing a safe community for its residents. That commitment requires a proactive approach to protecting youth, preventing crime, and training our emergency staff. Through a partnership with the University of Colorado, we are actively working to address potential impacts of alcohol in our city and on the CU campus. Last spring, our Parks and Recreation Department, the Boulder Valley School District, our police department, and parent groups took this work to our high school campuses by again providing a safe alternative for prom night.
The collaborative approach to a safe community is making a difference in the lives of our young people and in overall crime statistics in the city, which remain low for a university city of Boulder's size. Boulder's reputation as a safe community is aided by our strong record for solving crime and our commitment to new crime-fighting technology, such as detectives specially trained in computer forensics and the use of new online reporting system for filing police reports and receiving crime reports via the internet.
New technology also aids Boulder's efforts for an environmentally sustainable community, and it's garnering national coverage. In 2010, Motor Week came to Boulder to showcase the hybrid vehicles used in the city's fleet. Nearly 5 years ago, Council enhanced the city's environmental sustainability by adopting a climate action plan as a roadmap to achieving the Kyoto Protocol goal. Included in that goal was making sure the city vehicle fleet succeeded in pushing vehicle emissions to below 1990 levels. To accomplish that, Boulder has focused on purchasing alternative fuel vehicles and reducing vehicle miles traveled. In 2010, 100% of the 36 vehicles purchased were alternatively fueled. 53% of the city fleet is now alternatively fueled vehicles. The fleet's Kyoto goal has been met since 2006.
Reducing our carbon footprint helps us meet the climate action goals, and it will also achieve long-term savings for the city and our residents. The Smart Regs project, adopted by City Council in 2010, was among our proudest achievements. This was an update to the City of Boulder's housing and rental license codes that, for the first time, include a minimum level of required energy efficiency in rental housing. The Energy Efficiency Ordinance is one of the first of its kind in the country, taking an innovative approach that provides flexibility for property owners to meet the requirement. The process involved collaboration with many community stakeholders in order to arrive at an implementation strategy that gives property owners 8 years to meet the requirements. In addition, there are various incentive and assistance programs, such as the Energy Smart program that launched this week, to facilitate the process and provide access to rebates and energy concierge services.
Changing how we consume and acquire energy is a much bigger issue than any one homeowner or even any one city can achieve alone. Boulder is taking a big picture approach and making significant strides. As many of you know, we took our legislative agenda on solar energy to the state capitol in 2009 with an aggressive goal of creating community solar gardens. Last year, Colorado enacted House Bill 10-1342, making it possible for residents and businesses to own a shared interest in off-site solar electric generation facilities while enjoying the same proportional private benefits they would have from individual on-site ownership. Boulder's support of the Clean Air, Clean Jobs Act of 2010 also means that the coal operations at Xcel's Valmont plant will close by 2017. Our legislative efforts also successfully changed how Colorado looks at sprawl and urban renewal. The enactment of House Bill 10-1107 creates significant limitations on the ability of local governments to include agricultural land in urban renewal areas and to use the associated tax increment financing tool to promote development of such land. Such past practices by some Colorado communities not only disadvantaged Boulder's efforts to encourage infill development, but threatened the continued existence of this vital economic development tool. Our accomplishments in 2010 and those of previous years have put Boulder in a good position to thrive in 2011. The hard work of the community, City Council, and City staff provided the confidence voters needed to pass the accommodations tax and the utility occupation tax. The utility occupation tax not only serves to keep our city financially sound, but also allows us to explore energy options that reflect community values and provide more stable utility rates in the future. Discussions about our energy future will be the big story of 2011, but it is not the only accomplishment we have to look forward to.
While we continue to move energy projects forward, the Valmont Bike Park will open in spring 2011, and we will see significant multimodal improvements to Broadway at Euclid, improving traffic flow and pedestrian safety to and from the university and area neighborhoods. The 52-unit first phase of Red Oak Park should be completed this year. Previously known as Boulder Mobile Manor, this development will be 100% affordable rental units. All of the units will be complete with many green energy efficient features to help reduce utility costs for the residents and reduce impact on the environment. We also anticipate the rollout of the city's bike share program, owned and operated by a local nonprofit, Boulder B-Cycle. Code changes to facilitate the system are underway, and station locations are being selected. Boulder B-Cycle expects the system to launch on Earth Day this coming April.
As the state and national economies recover, Boulder is well positioned to participate in this recovery. Our willingness to make difficult financial decisions has led to solid bond ratings, and our frugal approach to new spending has put Boulder on solid footing for 2011. However, we know this year will hold new challenges, and we continue to have a structural gap that must be closed for long-term sustainability. There will continue to be trade-offs between discretionary and essential services as the city assesses community goals and its ability to provide services. Our priority-based budget system will help identify the most essential services as we continue to engage the community in articulating our shared values. At the same time, we'll be paying special attention to strategic financial planning needs, the maintenance of existing assets, and opportunities to leverage state and federal funds for infrastructure improvements.
We also will continue to focus on cost-saving strategies, such as leveraging state and federal funds, regional cooperation, and enhancing our climate action strategies to improve environmental health and attract green jobs. Our economic vitality team will focus on job stabilization and attracting compatible businesses to Boulder. Social sustainability will continue to be a priority as we look at regional solutions for underserved populations. The Boulder Public Library, under the leadership of a new director, will enhance the city's cultural and literacy opportunities. Parks and Recreation will finalize its reservoir master plan, and Open Space and Mountain Parks will begin implementing the West TSA plan to ensure that Boulder's majestic backdrop is preserved for future generations to enjoy. The council, city management team, staff, and I look forward to working with you, with our community partners, to complete ongoing projects and to address the new challenges that will come before us this year. Thank you so much.
So we've gotten a few questions, but before I get to those, I want to thank all of you for being here. We really appreciate it. And our special thanks go out to Elevations Credit Union for sponsoring this event, and also the Boulder Chamber of Commerce for also being a sponsor and welcoming you all here today. So we only have 3 questions, so I guess we'll have to ask the audience a little bit later for some more. So one of the questions is this: regulations hold back building construction. Can the city relax regulations for growth? And I think the answer to that is that's probably not going to happen here in Boulder. What we are trying to do at the Community Sustainability and Planning Department is to work more effectively with those that are providing projects. So we've tried to streamline our proposal. Our Executive Director, David Driscoll, talks to his staff regularly, as does Executive Director Maureen Raid of the Public Works Department, to make sure that we are as efficient as we possibly can be, that we're working with builders and with developers to make their projects run more smoothly. We're trying very, very hard to improve our efficiency, and that's one of the ways that we think we can cut down on the costs of development in our community. We're encouraging infill development, and obviously that's a little bit harder often than greenfields development, but Boulder believes that we really want to maintain an urban level kind of city, a city that isn't sprawling, and so that's one of the policies that the council has established for our community.
Thank you, Jane. You sound like a city planner. This is good.
Okay, so the next question is, how will the city deal with the flood danger of the 4 Mile area? This is a wonderful question. From the moment the fire started, we began to worry that it was going to be so large as it was, and that we would have deforestation in the drainage area that drains right down into Boulder Creek. So we're all downhill from the 4 Mile area. What's going on is that the county environmental and water people, as well as those from the city of Boulder, are working with the Urban Drainage and Flood Control District to study ways in which we can minimize the flooding in the area. So I believe that in the spring, or it may have already happened, that they're going to have seeding drops in the area, and that we are going to put monitoring stations up there to try to make sure that we know before the flood really comes what's going on. Several of the monitoring stations that we had were destroyed in the flood, and I believe that those are going to be replaced. I want to sort of tell all of you and hopefully lower the concern that we are totally on this and that we've been working with other communities as well. For example, Flagstaff, Arizona had a large fire last year and they saw some flooding and they've been giving us advice on how to proceed. So we're definitely thinking about it and working on it, and all of the agencies in the area are very much focused on that issue. So thank you for that question. It's a very important one. Let's see. Boulder likes to think of itself as a leading city in sustainability with some justification. Why then are we so slow to reduce vehicle miles traveled in single occupant vehicles? How do we shift more people to transit, bikes, and foot? So, wow, we think we're doing a really good job. We are one of the leading cities in the nation with regard to turning people to alternative modes of travel, and we're certainly the leading city in Colorado in doing so. We're focusing very much on trying to bring good kinds of bus rapid transit to the city of Boulder. I might turn this over to the mayor to answer that part of it, but we're investing in our bike paths. We are doing all we can to encourage alternative modes. We have a program with the downtown area that provides downtown employees with eco-passes so that they can take the bus into work and not use up valuable parking space and also not pollute our environment. All of the city employees have an eco-pass, so we're trying to encourage alternative modes in that way as well. We're really doing our part, and I think that we're doing very well. The Boulder B-Cycle project will have bicycles located in the downtown area and all the way over to 29th Street, and that will also allow our visitors as well as just people that are visiting downtown for business or wherever to use bicycles instead of trying to drive their cars everywhere. But Mayor, do you want to talk about our regional efforts?
I guess I could add a little bit to that, and I think some of our transportation people are here, so I might miss on the exact statistics, but actually the vehicle miles traveled in Boulder is very comparable to 1990. And I said in my part of the talk that getting from point A to point B across town takes about the same time as it has since in the 1980s. And we've been doing these cross city with a stopwatch runs for, I think, 30 years now. So we have a good handle on that. And although it may seem as though there is more traffic, the vehicle miles traveled in the city is close to what it was in 1990. And Jane gave me a nice opening to talk about another project that isn't exactly in the city for 2011, but we will all be affected by it. And that is the start of the construction or the continuation of the construction of the bus rapid transit line along US 36. One project in 2010 that we didn't mention in the address that has been a remarkable thing for me to have stepped into actually as mayor has been the regional cooperation of the cities along our US 36 corridor to get something to happen to that road, which if any of you travel it almost now anytime during the day, there's significant traffic coming into and out of Boulder. And this year, last year we were successful, 2 years ago, 2009, we were successful in getting a Tiger grant from the federal government and then the ability to acquire, to apply for a much larger loan, a TIFIA loan, that would actually build the bus rapid transit line getting close to Boulder, and we will, we believe, be awarded another $90 million from RTD to move that bus rapid transit line even closer to Boulder. And that construction, our TIFIA loan application, goes in a couple of days. We expect to go out to bid mid-July, and we'll see then how far the improvements will go, but we have great hope that the improvements are going to come pretty darn close to Boulder, and that will shorten and make even more efficient the bus trip from Boulder to Denver.
So those were all of the questions that we got from the audience in writing, but we maybe could take one or two more if anybody's got one. The question is, would the city be willing to make regulatory changes to commercial lighting? That's actually not an area that the city council has taken up. As a city ourselves, as an organization, we are reducing our lighting standards and trying very hard to make sure that the lights are turned off when they need to be. One of the things that worries us, though, is that at night we want our community to be very safe. And so we need to make sure that we maintain a certain lumens level on our city buildings, and certainly I'm sure the commercial buildings in the city feel the same way, that they want to make sure that they keep their buildings safe. So I think that's something that we could look at in the future as we talk about the Commercial Energy Conservation Ordinance, but that won't be on our agenda for this year. It's an interesting suggestion, and I'm certain that in the future we'll be looking toward that, so thank you.
Yeah, I'd also add that our programs, the Energy Smart launch that I mentioned in my talk, that's going to provide an amazing opportunity for residential users to become more efficient with their lighting. But it will also expand our ability to reach out to commercial users and use our advisors. And as we begin to hear stories, as we heard at City Council at our last meeting, testimonials really, of people in the business community talking about the amount of energy that they can save by doing small things. That's a sector where we're really talking about saving money in the end, and it's a group that should be extremely attuned to that. And I think once we get the word out, once there's a sense that the products are right and ready to be deployed, which I think they are, I think we will see a strong movement on the part of our commercial sector toward more energy efficient lighting as well as other things.
Great. Thank you so much. So we really are past the time. Both Susan and I, well, I shouldn't speak for you, but I can hang around a little bit if you want to come up and talk with me or ask any questions. And again, we thank you so much for being here. It means a lot that you care so much about our community. So thanks. Have a good day.
Thank you.